These are some stats. There are many stats which I'm not going to give you, but I'll give you the very good source which will give you the overall understanding about this application. So if you see this, you understood this, right? Like urbanization, 31.1%. Now the towns in India are classified into 6 types, class 1 to class 6. Class 1 is a town whose population is more than 1 lakh. Whose population is more than 1 lakh. You can see the percentage of urban population living in class 1 towns is 70.2% of our urban population lives in towns or cities whose population is more than 1 lakh. Class 2 means population of say 50,000 to 1 lakh. It is 8.5%, right? 8.5. So 50,000 to 99,999. This is called as class 2. Any town whose population is between 50,000 to 99,999 is called as class 2. 8.5% of our urban population lives in these kind of towns. Similarly, 20,000 to 49,999. 20,000 to class 3. 20,000 to 49,999. That is how much? 11%. Class 4 is 10,000 to 19,999. 10,000 to 20,000 in between. 20,000. And class 5 is 5,000 to 9,999. 5,000 to 999. The last one is less than below 5,000. Any area which is having less than 5,000 population can be said as class 6 town or statutory town. I can give you the numbers also, but how many there are not required examination perspective. What is census town? Basically, when census is conducted, any settlement is said to be urban settlement if its population is more than 5,000. So there are 3 criteria. I am conducting a census. Say if I go to some place, I call this as an urban area if its population is more than 5,000. So according, what is the definition of census town? According to Registrar General of India, who conducts the census, according to him, I call a town as a census town if its population is at least 5,000. That means more than 5,000 or above, I call it as a census town. And its population density should be more than 400 persons per square kilometer. So remember, second criteria for calling any town as census town. First criteria is population should be greater than 5,000. Second criteria is the population density should be greater than 400 persons per square kilometer. 400 persons per square kilometer. And third criteria is at least 75% of male working population should be engaged in non-agricultural activities. So these are the 3 criteria for calling any place or any settlement as urban settlement. One is population should be more than 5,000, density should be more than 400 persons per square kilometer. And third parameter is at least 75% of male working force should be engaged in non-agricultural activities. That place is called as census town. Census town. How many census towns in India? According to census 2011, census 2011, 3892 are census towns in India. Some figure says it is 3894, but I have referred to the Ministry of Urban Affairs and all. The report says it is 3892. But I have cleared exam 3894 only. But all of a sudden there is a change, I don't know why. But the statistics given by Urban Development Ministry, Urban Affairs Ministry is 3892. They not make much difference. UPSC is not going to ask you how much. 3892 is the census counts. But prelims, they may ask, nowadays they are playing with number games. 4041 is the statutory towns. So total number of towns is 7933. So you got what is census town? What is statutory town means any town which is recognized by a statute of a state government or a union territory as a notified municipality or a municipal corporation or a Nagar Panchayat or a cantonment. That means it should be recognized by whom? State legislature or UT legislature. For example, Pondicherry as a legislature. So it is notified by law as a town, that is called as statutory town. As municipality, municipal corporation, Nagar Panchayat, or notified town area or cantonment board, all this comes under statutory towns. You see, India has 53 million plus cities. India has 53 million plus cities. Million plus means 10 lakh population, more than 10 lakh population. How many cities are there in India means 53 cities have more than 10 lakh population plus. For example, Hyderabad is a how much is the population? Highly populated city in the country is go through these things. Census 2011 data you can go through. The questions they will not give you, but for your information, just go through these kind of parameters. What is the highly populated city in the country, or which state has highly urban population, highest urban population? Which state? Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has the highest urban population. Delhi has the highest urban population. Like this, you go through the data. Almost 7 to 8 states have more than national average of urban population. For example, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala. These states have more than 31%. National average is 31.2%, but there are 7 to 8 states whose average is more than national average. So urbanization is a phenomenon mostly predominating South India to some extent. But why I have given this stat, what the other statistics means, these census towns are recognized by census. These statutory towns are recognized by state legislative assemblies by a law. Now my idea is there is lots of hidden potential. I say India is not urbanized to the same extent as it is in other countries. China is how much? 56 point something. 59. If you see Brazil or South American countries, most of the South American countries have urbanization more than 70%. Brazil, for example, most of the South American countries, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay, so they have more than 70% of their population living in urban areas. For a given level of urban development, or sorry, economic development, India is highly urbanized or low urbanized? The reason is we are classifying them as census towns, but we are not classifying them as statutory towns. Only when a state government feels that I should notify it as an urban area, then only they will be pumping of funds. Simply saying it is a census town will not do anything good for it. That means many of Indians live in census towns recognized by the Registrar General of India, but they are not getting urban benefits because they are not yet notified by state legislative assemblies. Because they need to mobilize them. There is a resistance also. Because if I am notified certain place as urban area, what will happen? Prices will increase or decrease. You have to pay tax, water tax, property tax, all this. So there is a political equation happening here. But there is a Niti Aayog report recently. I'll send you that report. Read first 15 pages only. Means you will get to know that India is, even though fast pace of urbanization, India is witnessing fast pace of urbanization. In fact, 2011 census, you see, for the first time in India's history, urban population increased more than rural population. But urban population increased by 92 million, rural population increased by some 90.5 million. That means, for the first time in its history, urban population are growing at a faster pace than the rural population. That means India is urbanizing at a rapid pace. They are urbanizing at a rapid pace. But the levels of urbanization are low given to its economic development because of low recognition of urbanization in the country. There are many people still living in class 3, class 4. I've given you the data also percentage wise. Class 3, class 4, class 5. These people have to be recognized as urban residents. Then only their quality of life will increase or decrease. When I recognize certain places as urban area, automatically quality of life will increase in long term. Even though there is short term some disadvantages like price rise and all, but definitely the quality of life will increase. More funds will come from finance commissions and all, but that's not happening in the country. So urbanization, in one line I can say, is progressing at a rapid pace in India. But it is not happening, it is not progressing in a more planned manner. It is progressing less in a haphazard manner, unplanned manner. To tackle this urbanization, government has started many schemes, many policies. Can you tell me top 2, 3? Amrut, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, very good. Amrut, selecting 500 cities in the country, towns in the country, and developing basic core infrastructure like drinking water, sanitation, urban transport. This is the major aim of Amrut. There was another scheme prior to Amrut called as JNN URM. We see many buses flying on Hyderabad roads, the name JNN URM. Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. JNN URM. Started by UPA government. Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. That was also same. Infrastructure, core infrastructure. But the difference between